Perfect night for baseball at Coors Field as the fans are filing in Game 2 of this 4-game set between the Rockies and Dodgers. On the minds of the Rockies, snapped a 6-game losing streak at home to Colorado. What it is about 2018, because we know how talented the Rockies are, but earlier they had to snap an 8-game home losing streak against the Diamondbacks. And tonight they'll try to snap that 6-gamer against LA. It's the most consecutive games LA has ever won in Denver. Here's the Southwest batting order that Jon Gray will face tonight. For Dave Roberts, it'll be Jock Peterson leading off this evening, followed by Justin Turner, and then Yasmani Grandal. Dozier, Bellinger, Taylor, Muncy, Puig. You say, whoa, where's that new guy? Manny Machado. He's getting his first day off in a Dodger uniform. Also, Matt Kemp, who's been scuffling a little bit, is getting the first part of the evening off, but it just provides for a very strong bench for the Dodgers tonight. Well, Jon Gray's numbers keep rising in stature. It'll be start number 22. And the opponent batting average is really heading the right direction.
Yeah, it's a good thing, especially to the slider at Coors Field in his last 3 starts. 0.65 batting average again, so that's a good sign for Jon that he's figured out, you know, that release point. But more than anything else, it's a confidence that he exudes now out on the mound.
Shift is placed on Jock Peterson. He had a home run in yesterday's ball game, and he takes a strike. And that first pitch in there, it's 0-1 at 94 miles an hour, just to embellish some of the numbers that Huey shared with all of you. In his 4 starts, the league is hitting just 140 against him since his comeback. And Peterson's behind 0-2.
Already a good location on the slider. As I mentioned that too, because his first 7 starts, we know what it was like, and you see the numbers, the batting average against, but against the slider in those first 7 starts at Coors Field, it was a 242 batting average. So it's 180 points lower now in his last 3 starts.
That breaking ball is fouled off, so it remains a 2-strike count. It's not only that Jon has been dominant in his 4 starts since returning from Albuquerque, it's how efficient he's been inning to inning. Low pitch count.
Well, even when he had the season high 8 innings against Milwaukee's last, still only 99 pitches in that game.
Well, Buddy contemplated sending him out for the 9th. A lot of life on his fastball, and I think you made an observation that is a real accurate one. Jon is exuding confidence, because as talented as he is, there were times where if things got rough, his confidence level dropped. This is on the ground on 2 hops to DJ. There's out number 1. Take a look at the Rockies defensively. We're in their purple tops this evening. David Dahl, he's been swinging the bat well, and he's so gifted athletically. He's in there again. He's in left field tonight. Blackman in center and Cargo in right. You'll notice this is the same lineup as last night. Chris Iannetta doing the catching, and the familiar foursome in the infield.
A little bit different for Jon in the start with Chris behind the plate, because he's had a lot of starts with Tom Murphy as his catcher.
Here's Turner. And Justin out front. 0-1.
Yeah, this is just the 4th time on the season that Jon and Chris have matched up. He matched up with Tom Murphy 7 games, and then Tony Walters 11 games.
And breaking ball into dirt, so it's 1-1. Last 3 starts at home, Jon's 2-0 with a 1.27 ERA. And Turner fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the 9th career start for Gray against the Dodgers. He's 3-3, but a 3.43 ERA. And his last 4 home starts, a 2.53 against LA, and most importantly, Huey again was going over some of these numbers. The club is 4-0.
That's the bottom line. I mean, pitchers always want to give their club a chance to win, and Jon's been doing that.
This ball's lined to right. It's fair ball. It's going to go into that corner. Cargo They'll fire it back in, and Turner will have a one-out double.
Well, he just left this pitch up to Justin Turner. He had the 2 strikes on him. That ball is just belt high right over the middle of the plate on the Subaru Supremo, and for Turner, he gets the foot down, and they're just such a good hitter.
Well, since he came in 2014 to the Dodgers, he has hit right at 300. Here's Grandal.
Justin Turner too. We've talked about it before. He was kind of looking for a job. The Mets got rid of him.
I worked with Josh Donaldson, changed his approach. You hear that all the time in baseball, but for Turner, it really paid off. 1-0 on Grandal. That's a strike.
Well, they got another guy on their club too, and we'll see him hopefully in a couple innings. But Max Muncy, guy who changed his swing,
and we know what kind of success he's had. Good slider, just inside. 2-1. Dodgers right now in a dead heat, top the division with Arizona. And we just showed you the Rockies 3.5 back, 3-1. One out, Turner at second. And that's to center field. Charlie on a hop will field it. Turner's coming home, and the throw is going to be cut off. Run scoring single for Grandal. 1-0 LA.
The 2 hits this inning for the Dodgers, and now Grandal hitting over 260 with runners in scoring position. But again, they gets a ball that missed its location. That's 2 pitches now. The first one to Turner, and he doubled and comes around on the RBI by Grandal. And then they wanted this pitch away, and it didn't get there. Chris had to reach back. It was left up on the Subaru Supremo, and he kind of pulls the hands in and hits the one hopper to center field.
Here's Brian Dozier. So frequently a leadoff hitter in his career. Adjustments to the lineup, sitting out Machado and Kemp, and that thrusts Dozier into the middle of the order. That's a slider for a strike. But you're right, Huey. We've talked about how John has done so well the last 4 games, by and large, by keeping the ball down with his great stuff.
Well, Spilly mentioned it too in his little bit right before the first pitch tonight. You pitch down in the zone. That's when you get the ground balls that you need, or the swing throughs. The easiest pitch for a hitter to really just fight off and maybe drop in there is the one that's up, because you can get your hands there. They don't naturally drop into a zone, so you see the ball up, you just pull your hands. You don't have to really manipulate the bat a whole lot.
Yanked that fastball also, so it's 2-2. John, in his last outing in Milwaukee, also gave up a run fairly early in the game. I believe it was the 2nd inning, gave up a home run, and pitched a brilliant game after that. 2-2. Close. 3-2.
Just off the Subaru strike zone.
here. Hopefully, if this stays in play, and it will for Chris.
That's a tricky area for a catcher. You got the on-deck circle that's right there. It's a rubberized surface, so sometimes your cleats will slip on it, but you also have that wall that's coming out by the dugout. So he's fighting everything. He's got the CR logo and the wall. He's able to keep his eye on it and get that second out.
Cody Bellinger. And this ball sliced out of play. You know, think about it, Huey. Unless you are in pro ball, a major college program, or a very well-to-do high school program that has the machine where you can throw fly balls backwards.
Yeah.
It's hard for catchers to practice the foul pop because it's the hardest thing a coach has to do. You can hung goes all day to the infielders, to the outfielders. This ball's lined to center field. This is a base hit. And Charlie does a good job holding Grandal at second base. Third hit of the inning. And that'll bring up Chris Taylor.
Oh, but you're right. Those pop-ups, you never get the hang of that, hitting them to the catcher. And
you wrench your back trying to do it.
Well, and too, for a catcher too, what is the hardest thing? To trust that the ball's going to come back to you. Because how many times you see, you know, catchers go head over heels going backwards.
Yeah, it's something you have to learn. You have to trust that, yeah, the ball looks like it's going to land 2 feet in front of me, but it's actually going to be perfect.
Right on top of my head.
So an early meeting, Steve Foster, Chris Iannetta, John Gray. Taylor coming up. Gray with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year has been tough. The league's hit just 125 against him. You know, make a pitch here. Wasn't the start you wanted, but it's just 1 run.
That's right.
Taylor hit the home run on the first pitch of the 9th inning from Wade Davis. One of 5 home runs hit late last night by the Dodgers. They now have a NL leading 161. 0-1, way outside.
Taylor in his 4 games at Coors Field this year hitting 500, 8 for 16. Couple home runs.
We're talking about swing changes. I was talking to Chris today. He went through a swing change when he came from Seattle. He never hit for power at any point in his career. And now he's a guy with some thump. 2-1. A lot of pitches now.
24 pitches. Excuse me, 25 after that last one.
Foul. 2-2. Taylor last year breakout season hit 21 home runs, drove in 72. He also was 17 out of 21 stealing bases.
He just hit 215, 220 when he was with Seattle his last year there.
Yet the season you're talking about, it wasn't even that pretty. He was at 170 and 94 at bats in 2015.
I was giving him more credit than he had earned.
2-2. Got him. In the inning, the Dodgers get a run. They produce 3 hits. When we return, the Rockies will see Kenta Maeda. By Justin Turner. Charlie Blackmon, 278. He's got 21 home runs. Charlie in the game yesterday was 0 for 4. Trying to set the table against Kenta Maeda. Here's the Southwest batting order officially from Buddy Black this afternoon. DJ will bat second, then it's Cargo, Nolan, Trevor in the middle. David Dahl, he has a home run against Maeda. So does Ian Desmond. Chris Iannetta has hit a couple home runs against Maeda. But by and large, Kenta Maeda has really been tough on the Rockies. In fact, of all the teams that Maeda has faced in now his 3-year career since coming from Hiroshima, he has the lowest ERA against the Rockies.
Yeah, 2.18 ERA against the Rockies. Everybody else is 3.98. The difference for Maeda is the changeup. You know, last year he threw it about the same amount of time, but the whip percentage on it was about 30%. This year it's 50% whip percentage, and the batting average 127 against the changeup, where it was 309 last year.
Charlie takes a pitch that looked like it was in the Subaru strike zone, but fortunately was called a ball, so he's ahead 1-0.
Yeah, and there's the numbers. And last year in 2017, it's a different grip that he's using this year than last year.
Inside, 2-0. And if you're wondering, well, are most of the great numbers from Maeda stat from work at Dodger Stadium? He's pitched well here at Coors Field also. Got a 3 ERA at Coors Field. 2-0 for Chuck. And that's a good start. Kind of a typically patient at bat for Charlie. But he got ahead in the count and then just lined the ball back up the middle. Beat the ship.
Nice. That was what's nice. He got ahead in the count.
Cody Bellinger is in center field tonight. He's a good center fielder. He runs really well. He's a long strider. Peterson and Puig flanking him. Turner, Chris Taylor at his natural spot. That's where he played at UVA. Shortstop Brian Dozier and Max Muncy in the infield with Grandal behind the plate. So here's LeMahieu. DJ, nothing to show for his work last night. However, his last 2 at bats, he couldn't have hit the ball any harder. Lined out to center and lined out to second.
Those are the at bats that you hope to build on. I know you went 0 for 4. It's frustrating as a hitter. You could have been 2 for 4. But I think that's where you look at the approach instead of results.
Turned the tables early against Maeda. And something that both dugouts right now are filing away. James Hoyt not calling the high strike early in this game.
Well, you had the first pitch to Charlie that was called the ball. It was kind of up and away. And then that pitch to DJ.
Just wondering what Buddy was doing at the stopwatch. Same thing Tony Diaz is doing at the stopwatch. He's checking on the time to the plate from Maeda. 3-0. He won't time this delivery because
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Going anywhere. Three balls and a strike. Tonight is game 38 in a row against teams above 500. The Rockies done a great job. They're 22-15 despite how rough the last 10-11 days have been. The 2-5 road trip, and so far 1-3 on this homestand. Move there, 3-2.
I think you'll get some action now at first with Charlie taking off.
Absolutely, because of two things. Number one, it makes sense. Number two, DJ does hit into a fair number of double plays. Charlie, good jump, and this ball's well hit right center field. Puig going back, looking up. He doesn't have a play, it's gone. Two-run home run, DJ LeMahieu. And the Rockies are on top 2-1.
We were talking about the last couple at bats yesterday for DJ getting back on track, and there's a good sign right there. Much like the fist pump that Chris Iannetta had last night, DJ gives about the same thing as he hits first base. He knows how big, everybody knows how big this series is. Subaru Supermo, he gets a fastball and he just stays behind that baseball so well. 9th home run, 36 RBIs for DJ.
Yeah, that was a carryover, Huey, without question, from last night, his last 2 at-bats. And that was crushed as Cargo takes ball 1.
Well, it's good to see, too, against Maeda. You know, because he had the Rockies numbered, but the last 3 games he had been not been pitching well.
Yeah, he's reacting like, well, boy, I can't believe that went out of the ballpark. This ball's crushed to right center field, and Puig's going to have to play chase here. Cargo to second. He should get 3 out of this. He's on his way. Throw to third. Not going to get him. Triple for Cargo. 3rd of the year.
Three-fourths of the way to a team cycle right now. Well, the guys are taking advantage of the pitches from Maeda, especially the fastball. There's right center field. Now Puig is calling off. It looks like Bellinger in center field saying, I got this. But then once it hits the wall, it just drops right there, allowing Cargo to go all the way to 3rd.
And Cargo, Huey's one of those guys that had really struggled against Maeda. 1 for 12 prior to that swing. And now Nolan, another guy who struggled against Maeda. In fact, he struggled more against Maeda than any starting pitcher he has faced a few times in the sport. He's 2 for 19. So the Rockies, with the quick jump on Maeda, has completely turned things around. This club needed, more than anything, a quick start.
Yeah,
I know it's 2-1. And,
no, you're right,
but
though.
In the worst way.
Well, and you didn't need just one of those quick 11-pitch innings where, you know, John's right back out there again.
Ground ball to 3rd, and Cargo is going to be out by a bunch. Wow, that's not a good read.
No, with no outs, you can't go on contact right there. You got to see it past the 3rd baseman. Now you're taking yourself out of scoring position. That was just a one-hopper to Turner. Easy throw and catch by Grandal. If you don't go, you could even take a couple steps and still be able to get back to the bag, and now you'd be sitting at 3rd with 1 out and Trevor coming to the plate.
And Cargo knows it. So a break for the Dodgers, 1 out, and Story. Trevor's 2 for 11 against Maeda. Takes a strike.
You also, I'm sure if you're Maeda, you think you okay. I dodged a little bit of one right there.
He gave up 5 runs in his last outing against Houston. Again, in his last 3 outings since the All-Star break, he has an ERA of 6.88.
And 13 earned runs and 17 innings pitched coming into tonight. 4 against Philly, 4 against Milwaukee, and as you said, Drew, 5 against Houston. But to the right-handers, he really likes to throw the slider when he's ahead in the count.
It's a double play ball.
Well, it's not a double play because Dozier could not see the baseball.
I was wondering what was going on with
So
that.
as soon as he catches this ball, he kind of drops his head, saying that the sun is in my eye. Now Trevor might have beat it out anyway, but Dozier, watch this, catches it, has to kind of turn his head and just hopes that ball goes into his glove. So not as quick as you would normally turn it as a second baseman, obviously. But at least he caught that first one if you're the Dodgers. Not if you're the Rockies.
David Dahl on a couple times last night, a single and a walk. He waited nicely on that breaking ball, fouls it back. David 2 for 7, one of the 2 hits against Maeda, a home run. He has played every day with the exception of the day he returned on Sunday. Pinch hit in that ball game and walked. A jump for Story, throw to second, safe. And he's stayed on the bag. That's his 15th stolen base.
You got the almost a walking lead into that. He was leaning hard and he took off, a lot of momentum. Now you're trying to hang on, hang on, hang on, and luckily he's able to hang on with his fingernails and his toenails. Because watch how far and how fast he slides on the Subaru Supermo. Now he's hoping he stays on the bag, which he is, and even the foot stays on then.
That's why I really don't like that head first slide. There's too much risk for injury, and there's risk of that on a fast infield. This ball's fouled off.
But I will say this though, Drew, if he doesn't have the glove on the left hand, it's easier to hang on to the bag. But since he has the glove because he had injured his thumb a couple years ago, he's got to wear it. It's just that rule to me that is, I don't like it either way.
Once you went to review, I mean, it's hard to say, well, he was there. If he bounced and the tag's still on him.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. Head first is okay if you don't have one of those oven mitts on, so you can grab the bag.
2-2.
Because sometimes it's hard when your foot hits the bag to automatically you end up popping up off the bag if you go feet first. So there's risk.
Yeah, as long as the feet. Yeah, I know it can happen that way also. But you can explain to people there's certain dirt in Major League Baseball is faster than other.
Oh, for sure.
Surfaces.
Yeah, it depends on how much of the, every club will put a little bit of diamond dry to mix in with that water just to get a good consistency. Sometimes that'll lay on top of that water and it's almost like a slip and slide.
2-2. 3-2 on Dahl. Desmond on deck. Rockies came out of the chute in the bottom of the first. Single Blackman. Long home run by DJ LeMahieu to the opposite field. Triple by Cargo. And Nolan hit the ball on the ground to third and Cargo broke for the plate. He was out by a bunch. Story reached on a fielder's choice, stole second. Dahl's trying to deliver him here. John Gray had to work in the first, and this is pitch number 22 upcoming for Kenta Maeda. Well, if he pulls the ball to right, he's going to run all day. And unfortunately, this is right at Dozier. The Rockies get 2. They should have had 3. But it's a good start. 2-run home run. DJ LeMahieu, his first home run since June 28th in San Francisco. We all remember that one.
home run of the year. Time now for the win, which is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. You get the lead and keep the lead. Unfortunately, the Rockies have 15 losses this season when the bullpen inherited the lead. That is the most in the major leagues. Last year, they only had 7 of those all year, which were the second fewest losses in all of baseball.
Max Muncy's at the plate. He takes high, ball 1. Muncy's become a personal favorite of Dave Roberts, and not just because out of nowhere he's hit 25 home runs. He just loves how this kid goes about his business. In fact, he has 2 new favorites. Muncy, who we've seen all year naturally, and the recently acquired Brian Dozier, who, as Dave told us yesterday, just a gamer, which Dave Roberts was as a player. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed.
When did somebody come from Minnesota that wasn't a gamer? I mean, that's kind of their
high quality people also.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone over some of the names in the past. The Rockies have had Michael Kadire, LaTroy Hawkins, Justin Morneau, just tremendous players, but great people. Another guy we see periodically, Denard Span, same guy. They're all cut from the same mold.
Well, and they've got a manager, Paul Molitor, that was born and bred Minnesotian. How would you say that?
I don't know if I screwed it up. I call it Minnesota. 2-2. See you later. Muncy's gone. Second strikeout in a row for Gray. And that'll bring up Yasiel Puig.
I got the strikeout of Chris Taylor on a slider, and here on Muncy, also a slider on the Subaru Supermo.
Puig appeared as a pinch hitter last night and had a sharp single to left. There were 3 pinch hitters for the Dodgers last night. They were 3 for 3. And 2 of them obviously hit home runs. The last time they had that occur was in the early 80s. And it was Rick Monday and Mike Marshall, August 27th, 1982 at Dodger Stadium. And of course, there's Rick now next to Charlie Steiner. Rick on the right. This ball at short, and Trevor with the backhand and the good throw, 2 outs. Rick had himself a terrific career. Former first pick of the first ever draft back in 1965.
Out of ASU for Bobby Winkles down there for the Sun Devils.
And you would recall, as maybe not 1965, would you recall? You were too young.
No, I was too young.
But growing up in Arizona. And Charlie's a Bradley Brave, like Mike Tauchman. Strike on Maeda.
I did not know that about Charlie.
Yeah.
Peoria, Illinois.
And I think the journalism school there, in fact, I know this. I don't know if the journalism school, the broadcast school, is named for Charlie now. They honored him in the last couple of years. 2 strikes on Maeda. Threw the bat at that, didn't he?
Yeah. 2 for 28 on the year for Maeda. Do the math. That's 071.
Somebody did that for you. This is the job for a base hit. He just threw his bat at that also, and now Maeda extends the inning where John could have gotten the club to the dugout quickly. He'll bring up John Peterson.
Oh, it's a curveball. Just short of throwing the bat at it, that's what he did. Looper into left.
Peterson hit a sharp ground ball to DJ. One thing about Peterson, he is going to take a big swing. I mean, he stepped in the bucket, his ball's down, and he's trying to hit the ball over the roof of the stadium. That's been his MO.
That's him. It's his time in AA and AAA.
Outside, 1-1.
Their AAA now is in Oklahoma City, but if you remember, before they were there, Jock was playing in Las Vegas.
You could do some damage at Cashman Park.
Yeah, Cashman in Las Vegas in the summertime at 110 degrees. If the wind blows anywhere, it blows out to right. Remember that spring training game?
You know what? He actually played Huey in Albuquerque because it was still the Albuquerque.
Right, Albuquerque.
That was for a long time the Dodgers AAA affiliate in Albuquerque, where the Rockies now enjoy having their AAA affiliate, the Topes. 33 home runs in 2014 in Albuquerque. But that whole league, as we've often discussed, is a great hitters league.
The Dodgers were in Las Vegas before they went.
Ground ball to Desi, he'll run to the bag. Maeda's left the board. Rockies in the middle of the second, leading 2-1 on the DJ LeMahieu home run, his 9th.
Lead, it's 2-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Last night was another difficult loss for the Colorado Rockies, and I think when we're looking at this team, especially given the record, those losses start to mount up. I asked Chris Iannetta earlier today, how frustrating has this stretch been?
It's the same for the pitching staff when they pitch really well and our offense doesn't put up runs. We're all in this together. You know, there's a lot of facets of the game. You know, there's the offensive side, there's starting pitching, there's bullpen, there's defense, and it all has to work together. And this year we've kind of been a weird year where the pieces haven't necessarily worked at the same time, which in some ways you can look at as like, man, we're in a really bad spot because that hasn't happened. In other ways, you're like, well, over the course of the season, that usually turns around and happens. So if that does turn around and all 4 facets of the game work together at the same time for the last, 6-7 weeks, we could be in a really good spot at the end.
Silver lining, positive thoughts. I like it coming from a guy that is on both sides. Catching, he's also having to deal with the pitching staff and then making sure with the big hit that he had last night, getting his offense going. But to your guys' point, Drew and Huey, you said it. Today's a new day, and they honestly feel like everything's about to turn and the team's going to play some quality baseball.
Well, here's what they know, Spilly, and I love how Chris explained that. We always talk about the 4 facets of the game, and Chris is such a cerebral guy. there are teams and there are years where it just seems like there isn't that harmony of enough of the season, all four playing at a high level. This ball's fouled off by Desmond. But when it all clicks, and there's some teams that, listen, the starting pitching short, or the offense is short. If the Rockies are playing up to their potential, legitimate potential, they have all four facets that can play at a high level. It just has to happen more frequently on a night-to-night basis than it has.
No doubt.
It did in July.
That's right. And if you felt like you were short, you would never have that feeling like, oh, we can do this. Because the players know when their club's short, but this club, you don't get that sense. And as Chris said a moment ago, it's right there. Now it's yours for the taking, but you still got to go out there and do it.
2 strikes, 1 and 2 now on Desmond.
I mean, you can talk all you want. There's 47 games.
A lot of baseball
tonight.
left.
Yeah, there is. And as you said, just 3.5 back in the division.
Two and 2. Bouncing ball. This is going to be Maeda on the run just in front of Desmond for the out. That'll bring up Chris Iannetta. It'll take us to our big hit, brought to you by Mako. Well, last night the Rockies trailed 3-2, 2 aboard. Chris Iannetta just hammered that pitch from Pedro Baez for a home run. 3-run shot. The Rockies were up 5-3. Looked like that was going to be the big swing of the night, and it even looked that way with 2 outs, or the first 2 hitters who came up in the top of the 8th inning. Song-Hwan Oh dispensed of maybe the 2 best overall hitters. This is sharply hit and a base hit for Iannetta. Justin Turner and Manny Machado last night, he struck them both out, and I mean quickly. And there, with all due respect to Matt Kemp, who's had a good year, and Bellinger, who's a nice young player, but the 2 toughest outs are going to be Machado and Turner, and he got rid of them quickly. I think the biggest hit of the night was Kemp behind 1 and 2, and he's been struggling unloading that double to deep center field.
Well, it was, and then Bellinger had the opportunity to then drive him in on the first pitch, and he got a mistake pitch.
Gray will try to get a bunt down. Turner creeping in. And John with a perfect bunt. And a low throw, not handled at first. That'll be on Muncy. Kind of tied up Brian Dozier. And it'll be a sacrifice and an error on Muncy. See if the Rockies can take advantage.
John laid this down. Textbook. Get the barrel out in front, drop it down, it's on the grass. Then he got in the right path, so they couldn't call interference. And then just a low throw that skips on Brian Dozier as he's trying to catch the ball, step on the bag. He knows the runner's coming. That was just a bad throw from Muncy. That's 11 errors on Max Muncy.
So here's Charlie, who started that first inning rally with a sharp single. You start getting Charlie and DJ going. Look out. With a great opportunity here to make the Dodgers pay for that miscue.
Yeah, continue to keep the pressure on Maeda. Here's the 1-0. Charlie, oh, this is off of Maeda. Foot race.
they'll get the force at second on Gray. He's in no man's land. That's a tough situation because
he
can't get doubled off, and Maeda almost caught the ball.
And that's why John did the right thing. He froze. He takes the secondary, sees the ball lined up. He froze and was going back towards first. Dozier's helping out Maeda as they go to second. But that's, I mean, it was bad because that ball was ticketed for center field. But the good thing out of it is John has a chance now to go back to the dugout. You replace him with Charlie at first base, running the bases.
LeMahieu hit a home run to right center field last inning, his 9th of the year, his first since that huge home run late in the day in San Francisco, where it looked like the Rockies were going to lose. DJ hit the home run and kind of propelled the Rockies to a terrific run in July.
Let's take a peek at some of the numbers for DJ's home run on the StatCast AI, which is powered by AWS. Pretty high launch angle, 32. 381 feet off the bat at 90, rounded up 99 miles an hour.
Two strikes, which for most hitters is an uncomfortable spot. In DJ's career, he's always been a good two-strike hitter. Net at third, Blackman at first.
There was a kind of an emergency that was up and in on the Subaru strike zone. He just fought that one off.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. Hitting is contagious. The Rockies are due to get hot. And I think it begins with the two guys up top, Blackman and LeMahieu. They've hit the ball hard 3 times collectively so far this evening. He went inning over. DJ went around. Quinn Walcott makes the call at first base. The Rockies threaten. They'll leave 2 on. They're up 2-1 going to the 3rd. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. We're in the state capital of Colorado, city known as Denver. Kind of like started dragging that, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, broke off
like
from that though. 2-1. The Rockies leading with Jeff Houston. I'm Drew Goodman. Ryan Spilborghs camped down in the camera well next to the Rockies dugout.
No Joe Friday.
No, not Joe Friday. Turner leading things off. He had a double and scored a run in the first inning. Turner takes ball one. And that's right there. 1-1. I was talking to Turner today. I said, play with any of the Rockies growing up or college? He said, one guy, Jeff Salazar. As he gets plunked there, and that's when you know you're getting older. He said, when the guy you played with is now a coach. They played together in AAA in Baltimore. John doesn't hit many guys.
Just the 6th time this year that Turner's been hit by a pitch. Pitches off the elbow guard on the Subaru Supermo.
And just the 3rd guy that Gray has hit all year. Justin was saying they just played Oakland. Rockies just swept Oakland here recently. See, Chris Davis was one of his recruits when he was at Cal State Fullerton.
Davis is 37. Chris Davis. So that tells you getting up there just a little bit. No, I'm thinking of Rajah Davis. That's right.
Yeah,
Chris
you're
Davis
thinking Rajah. He's
33. No, 30. I'll get my years right.
One strike on Yasmani Grandal. Tell you one more story about Turner at Cal State Fullerton. So he recruits Chris Davis, who's 87 now. We'll settle on an age for him.
No, he's 30.
He's 30.
I was thinking of Rajah Davis.
You think of Rajah?
37.
Yeah, that's happened before. Here's the 1-1. Again, not a lot of borderline pitches either way being called for strikes. 2-1.
There's about 5 or 6 now that have.
So you know who the bat boy was when Turner was at Cal State Fullerton?
No.
Matt Chapman.
Wow.
Kid who was playing at El Toro High School behind Nolan. 2-2.
Chapman now the star for the A's.
Yeah, big time star. Two, and that's in the dirt. 3-2. Fouled off. Grandal is a product of the University of Miami. To first, chance for 2. And Nolan just wanted to clear himself. I don't know if I've ever seen that before on a double play, but Nolan with the bounce. Let me line this up properly. He knew he had a catcher going in Grandal. This one's fun to watch.
Well, it's the old 3-5-3 double play. You see this every day.
Right. But there was no showboating. Nolan did everything right here.
Look at how far in the baseline Turner was, so that he has to clear himself from Turner and still have the arm strength on the Subaru Supermo to throw out Grandal.
Threw that 95-mile-an-hour heater over. The old 3-5-3. As Huey said, Brian Dozier is behind 0-1. This is toward Cargo and right. He'll move 4 steps to his right to make the catch. So John Gray navigates the third inning without an issue. Rockies leading 2-1. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Taco Special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Rockies in the bottom of the third with a 2-1 lead. It'll be Cargo, Nolan, and Trevor Story, and hopefully many of their friends against Kenta Maeda. And they've put heavy pressure on Maeda in the first couple of innings. Cargo had a triple his first time up. Takes high ball one, and then he had the base running mistake because the triple came after the 2-run home run by DJ, so there's nobody out. He's at third. Nolan hit a ground ball to Turner. The infield's back, but if it's hit at a corner, you can't go with nobody out. You typically, with one out, go on contact. Cargo came home, and Turner had an easy pitch and catch to Grandal. Field swung around to the opposite field. Here's the 2-0. And it's 3-0.
This is kind of uncharacteristic from what we've seen from Maeda before.
You know, partner, you and I've been, we always say it's been together so long, you start thinking the same thoughts. I was just going to turn to you.
Yeah.
Said it really is uncharacteristic, and it is incumbent on the Rockies to really take advantage of this, because it seems every time that Maeda faces the Rockies, he is super sharp.
And that's why, you know, he's got the career .218 ERA against the Rockies. And you know, even this year, he gave up the 3 runs, but struck out 9 in 7 innings.
And Cargo has been doing so much of this the last few months, Huey, and that is, if you don't throw him a strike, he'll pass the baton to his teammate. That teammate's pretty good, Nolan Arenado. Achieving More is brought to you by AT&T. Most extra base hits, first 6 big league seasons. Pujols, Braun, Teixeira. This among players who've participated in the sport since 1973. Helton with 431, and Nolan. And Nolan, you know, again, this will not be a complete work until the end of September, so
got a few games to go.
He may catch Todd. Trying to figure out Maeda, just 2 for 20 against Maeda. Nolan didn't do something today that he normally does every day.
Batting practice on the field.
Yeah, every day that the team hits on the field. Usually day games, teams won't hit out on the field, but Nolan decided just to do his work underneath. 0-2. That's a borderline pitch that his call to strike. Nolan now chatting up James Hoyt.
There's nothing wrong with not taking batting practice out on the field occasionally. You got the tunnel, you get all your work, you can get loose down there, and it just saves a little bit to, you know, when it starts to get a little warmer. Today was kind of warm down on the field.
The last thing anybody needs to worry about is Nolan Arenado being ready to go.
Not getting his work in?
Yeah, at 6:40.
Yeah.
You worry about a whole lot of stuff. Don't worry about 28.
That's not one of them.
This is an interesting one. Percentage of plate appearances with runners in scoring position. And you note that it's down this year. So just a little more than 23% of his plate appearances have come with a guy in scoring position. Last year was over 28%. The previous 2 years above 27%. And Nolan's gone here. And that probably, and it's not trying to be, you know, an indictment of Charlie and DJ, but their on-base percentage is down considerably from where it was last year.
DJ's at 315 this year. Charlie's at 347.
Trevor rips it down the left field line. This will be interesting. Cargo will pick up Stu Cole. Kicks around the corner. Stu's going to send him. Cargo toward the plate. The throw. Not in time. Head to third. Story safe there. The Rockies now leading 3-1.
Trevor waited back on this off-speed pitch and ripped it to left field.
It'll be a double for Trevor, and he moved up on the throw. It'll be his 32nd double of the year.
Wow, look at this hanging pitch on the Subaru Super Bowl. He rips it down the line. And then John Peterson, he gets over there, but watch where this throw takes Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor's in fair territory and has to run to foul territory. And then this allows Cargo to come in. This is where you got to be careful, though, with that head first slide going into home right at the feet and the spike of the catcher.
Infield in, Dahl at the plate. Cash this run in also. 32nd double for Story, to third on the throw, 80th RBI.
Watch how close this is. So look at the foot of Grandal. It kind of blocks the plate, but then the fingers are able to get over the top of it and get in there. That's why you like to go feet first, so you can knock that foot off the plate.
And this is right at Dozier. He'll come home, out at the plate.
That's two guys that the Dodgers have cut down today.
Yep, and you hope that does not come back to haunt the Rockies. So Dahl fails to get the ball in the air. And right now, the Rockies waiting to see what the video room says. That will be interesting. See if Buddy wants to challenge this. He's kind of got it. Nope, they're not going to challenge it.
I think he got the sleeve of Trevor.
That's two big runs that the Rockies failed to take advantage of. Here's Desmond. See if Dahl looks to run. Ball one. This is a good place to run with 2 outs. 1-1. Desi, who's super aggressive himself right now, trying to give David an opportunity.
That was smart too, because he took the first one for a ball. But now you got to kind of take care of your own if you're Desi at the plate. He gave him the one pitch if he wanted to go.
1-2. I figured Dahl will be moving here. Good chance he'll be moving.
Oh, with the slider coming from Maeda. Bob Guerin giving the throw over signs for the Dodgers. He's their bench coach.
Dahl not going.
Maeda was 1.26, so it's right at the borderline.
1.3. Major league average, kind of a demarcation point. If you're substantially beneath that, it's tough to run.
But if you get the off-speed pitch, if you get the good pitch, harder to run on a fastball.
Yeah.
But if you get a slider, curveball, better chance.
Remains a breaking ball count. Outside, 2-2.
Still pretty quick on that one. That was 1-2-4.
Story had a bag earlier in the ball game against him. The Rockies, think about this, folks. In the first 2 games they participated in against Maeda, they had 7 hits this year. They were 7 for 47. They have 5 hits already tonight. Definitely be moving here. 3-2. So Maeda, as he wipes his brow. 53 pitches in.
And only 3 times this year has he thrown 100 pitches or more.
Yeah, he's not one of those guys that throws 110. This ball to center field, pretty well hit. Going back is Bellinger, and he'll make the catch. The Rockies tack on a run. Cargo led the inning off with a walk. Trevor Story brought him around with a double. 3-1 Rockies going to the 4th.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's take a look at the last 4 starts for John Gray since getting that reset. A 1.52 ERA, the opponent batting average 140. The whip is my favorite. Walks, hits, plus innings pitch at a .71. That's fantastic. And include the strikeouts. Looking beyond these numbers, looking at his fastball command, he's been pitching down in the strike zone, and it also reflected by the last couple of stats I'm going to show you right here. 4-seam fastball with ranks in Major League Baseball. Before the reset, 353 average. It's basically up in the zone in a hitter spot. And since then, the 158 average is basically telling you location, location, guys.
Well, it's been a marked improvement for John Gray as he gets that first breaking ball over on Bellinger. Bellinger pull hitter, and he's going to loop this one into right field for a base hit. He's 2 for 2. That'll bring up Chris Taylor, who struck out his first time.
8-game hit straight for Bellinger.
He's had a great start to the second half. Taylor's playing his natural position tonight, a shortstop. He's become very comfortable in the outfield as well, center field in particular. 1-0. Hits are even at 5. The runs are not. Rockies up 3-1. Game 2 of 4 with Los Angeles. I appreciated what Buddy said before last night's game when he was asked the inevitable question about how important this series was, how big this series, and coaches and managers are so accustomed to answering it as, hey, listen, every game is important, and you know, we go day to day, and that's true. I mean, if you're in athletics, you have to. You can't say, okay, this 10-game set, we have to win 8 of them. It doesn't work that way. You have to try to, as we say, you know, go pitch to pitch,
Yep.
inning to inning. But Buddy did acknowledge, he goes, listen, yeah, it's big. The Dodgers are ahead of us. The Dodgers have traditionally been ahead of us. We're getting later in the season. 2-0. Swung on and missed.
But you still,
2-1.
even though you kind of look at it that way, you got 47 games left. I just did some math. You still have 29% of the season left.
A bunch. It's a lot.
So if you're in the football season, you're still looking at, you know, 4 games. I think that's the biggest difference in baseball.
And more than half will come at Coors Field. 26 of the remaining 47. Where the Rockies have started to play, you know, this week aside, like you expect them to play at home.
That's right.
17-7 their last 24 at home.
But I think Buddy also, you know, when saying that, says, hey, we're getting towards the middle of August. So you wouldn't say that in June.
Bellinger can run at first. John does a good job of holding the baseball, and that pitch called a ball. 3-1.
It's been a very tight zone tonight by James Wood. I mean, the 4th pitch that caught the Subaru strike zone, but he hasn't been calling that. The one up, he hasn't called. There's probably been 8, 9 pitches that have caught a portion of the zone.
3-2.
So John's a little frustrated too. He got to snap the glove when he got that ball back.
I like seeing that, though.
It's okay.
I like seeing that from John.
Nothing wrong with it. I don't. You see Chris Taylor is 2nd in the National League with the 28.1 strikeout percentage. Struck out in the 1st on a slider.
Smart to check on Bellinger. 3-2 pitch. He may be going. Maybe not, though, because of the propensity for Taylor to strike out.
Yes, John threw him an 88-mile-an-hour slider first time. Strike him out.
Bellinger not going, and it's a weak ground ball that'll work as a sacrifice. It's on the exchange, out at first. So Max Muncy will come up with Bellinger at second base. Fans, join in on the conversation tonight. Send us your comments. Use Twitter. I think you've heard of it. And then the hashtag Toyota Talk. What percentage of Americans use Twitter now? Do you have any idea, Hugh? You read to Twitter. You don't participate, though.
Right. I'm saying like 14%.
Is that what it is?
That's what I'm gonna throw out there. We'll have Jacob get on and see what it is. That's what I'm saying. 14%.
Once he struck out his first time. I will say it's not as many as the Twitter universe thinks it is.
Right. But it's allowed 14%.
It can be. Again, that's a little bit low, so it's 2-0. John's fallen behind a little bit more tonight than he ordinarily does. Muncy has a really high walk rate also, and that's I think being raised as an Oakland A.
Yeah, no doubt.
Become that modern day player. As Billy was talking about at the top of the broadcast. Home runs, walks. This ball's hit a ton. And Muncy's done it again. He just tied up the game. 2-run home run. Max Muncy is 26th of the year.
And his 20th home run against right-handed pitching. He's hit a home run now 1 out of every 11.44 at bats. Third best ratio in the big leagues. Slider that just kind of spun up there.
But again, John getting in a 2-0 count.
No doubt about it. But Muncy also didn't miss it.
6th home run in the series already for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have won 7 out of 10 against Colorado this year. And in those first 10 ball games, they've hit 20 home runs. The Rockies, by comparison, have hit 10 home runs.
And 15 out of those 20 home runs that come here at Coors Field in the games.
2 strikes on Puig. And now immediately your thought goes back to the 2 guys thrown out at home.
Well, the first one was, as you said, and we've said, it was on Cargo. The second one, though, that was contact play. There was 1 out. That's David where he needs to get the ball in the air. David Dahl.
Yeah, Story's going. Story made the right play. As soon as that ball's contacted, he's coming home. 2 outs. Billy did a whole segment on it before first pitch tonight. The Dodgers are the definition of the modern team. True outcome: home run, walk, strikeout. They walk a lot and they hit more home runs than anybody in the National League. Maeda grounds out, damage done. Bellinger a hit, Muncy a 2-run home run. We're back even as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Our CenturyLink high-speed challenge. Go to AT&T Sportsnet RM to cast your vote. Chris Stapleton taking some hacks today, and he ripped a couple line drives against Buddy, and then he shut it down. He wanted to make sure he didn't, get jammed and hurt his fingers. So we want to know: would you rather be a rock star or a professional athlete?
I know what I would want to be.
Well, you were a professional athlete already, so you want to be a rock star.
Right?
So Spilly said, and Spilly obviously was a professional athlete, said he'd rather be a professional athlete. I would have let me capitalize and underline and put in bold print, no shot at being a rock star.
Well, but that's not the question. I wouldn't either.
So if I could.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I can't carry you two into the bucket.
You can have a longer career as a rock star.
You can have a longer career.
If you drink a lot of water.
And don't partake in other activities, right?
Hey, you were teasing about Bud Black throwing batting practice at Chris Stapleton. I want to let you hear the play-by-play of the BP to Chris Stapleton from Buddy Black.
If you guys were here, you noticed that the band took BP, right? And then Chris got in there. First swing, legit, bullet to left. Then the next pitch was just a little bit inside, and it sort of jammed him. And then the next pitch, another bullet, and he shut it down after 3 swings, because I think if he got another jam shot, he didn't want yeah, man, the money makers might have been in jeopardy.
Well, if you're curious how the relationship started with Chris Stapleton, it started a couple years ago with Keith Duggar becoming a little bit of a friend for Chris Stapleton and helping him out and make sure he could use his money makers for one of his concerts. Guys?
And we all saw, a lot of people in the organization saw Chris Stapleton late in spring training down in Tempe.
About 30 guys went to one of his concerts over in Tempe. Tonight he's at the Pepsi Center.
I think that's neat, and there's always been a relationship with performers and athletes. I think the performers love the athletes, and the athletes naturally admire so many folks in music. 1 strike on Ionetta, base hit his last time up to left. So I would clearly lean heavily to the side of professional athlete.
Right, yeah, I knew that.
If you could be any type of music phenomenon,
I would just like
you're a country guy.
Some country.
O2.
But that would require a lot of work.
See, Spilly's different. The genre of music, Spilly would have liked to have been the 5th member of Kiss.
5th member of who? The Beatles?
Kiss.
Oh, yeah, Kiss. Star Child?
Yeah, see, that's you.
Like the Spilly Goat? Hate my face? Yeah, I'm all for that.
Fits. Here's the 1-2. And that's strike 3.
Right in the heart of the Subaru strike zone.
That'll bring up Gray. John got a sack bunt down his first time up, and the throw from Max Muncy was in the dirt to Brian Dozier. So John ended up reaching. Yankees had 2 on, 1 out. Unfortunately, couldn't push across a run in the second. They got 2 in the first on the LeMahieu home run. They got a run in the third on a Trevor Story double. Four strikeouts for Maeda.
Fans buy a Rockies ticket plan to guarantee a chance at the 2018 postseason tickets. Plan start at just 10 ball games. Call 303 Rockies or go online to rockies.com/tickets. Get some more information.
So Jacob's research is complete. About 21% of Americans use Twitter.
21%. Okay.
Yep.
I think the demographics might be skewed heavily, though, to the younger generation.
I think you're probably correct in that assumption. Charlie's hit the same ball twice tonight. Once got through for a base hit to center field, a line drive. The second one, Maeda got leather on it. And that was that inning where John had reached on the error. So his first and second, and you think, oh man, that's going to score a run. Maeda again got leather on it and then picked up the baseball. John Gray was heading back to first because he thought it may be caught. They got the force at second. Bottom line is Blackman has taken 2 really good swings against Maeda tonight. Now he's got a 3-0 count.
And he's been in good counts, good passes at the ball, staying back, good balance. The prerequisites of good hitting.
I think good counts are not an accident. You know, when a guy's scuffling, teams know it, and pitchers get real aggressive, and that's why we say you walk up and it's always an 0-2 count. The converse happens.
Yeah.
As you know, Huey, all of a sudden a guy goes, oh, this guy's red hot, and now you nibble, and all of a sudden it's 2-0.
Funny how that works, right? And then you take your ball 4.
Right. So the first 2 swings by Charlie influenced the third sequence. He falls behind. Ultimately, he walks him. So now with 2 outs, DJ will get an opportunity. Second walk allowed by Maeda. Billy just noticed something in the dugout we're going to pass along. This is Nolan a moment ago, and he's trying to get his shoulder loose. And he's explaining it to Chris Iannetta, and he has his glove, and then he goes and gets his bats, and he's taking it downstairs. And McMahon will go in at third base, it looks like. Runner goes. Charlie's going to steal this bag standing up. Has a helmet on off camera in the dugout, so there's something up with Nolan, and he apparently is going to depart this game.
Well, anytime you take your glove and your bats,
you're done.
You're done. Yeah.
Way inside. It's 3-0.
Maeda's just labored all night long, and it's great for the Rockies hitters.
A reminder, after this half inning, it's Friday night, Buddy will join us from the Rockies dugout. We'll get an update from Buddy, I'm sure, on Nolan. Ball 4. Rockies trying to produce a 2-out rally, and the right guy coming up in Carlos Gonzalez, a triple and a walk tonight, and that will bring out Rick Honeycutt. Back-to-back 2-out walks.
Third walk tonight for Maeda. Come in and just walked 37 guys in 103 innings.
Check this out as Cargo prepares to hit against Maeda. Remember, we all know the first 4 months or so last year rough.
Yes.
Really rough.
Yes.
On Cargo-like. Last 6-7 weeks, very much Cargo-like, right? Not a great April, but he's really picked it up since then. So you go back the last calendar year, Cargo's hit .302, 21 home runs, an .897 OPS. His WOBA, and you look at it, the same folks' average, you know, 300s, real solid. .378 WOBA. And we're going to use some advanced metrics here. WRC plus 100 is, average.
Benchmark, yeah.
Your benchmark. He's at 121. That's over the last calendar year.
Yeah, so all those numbers that you just pointed out there is what our eyes have been telling us too.
Absolutely. And you and I fall back on that. And
no, but it's good to have
the advanced metrics support what we've been watching.
Right, and you could just tell the at-bats are much cleaner, just the way he takes pitches.
So here we go, 2 outs, Cargo trying to put the Rockies in front again. 3-3 ball game. And it's roped to Dozier, and he's going to come up with it. So Brian Dozier makes a good play. When we come back in 60 seconds, we'll get an update on Nolan Arenado from that man, Buddy Black. Tied at 3, going to the 5th. And as always on Friday night, we're joined by the manager, Buddy Black. And before we even talk about baseball, Nolan had to be removed from the baseball game. What is his situation?
On the double play ball, Drew, the Desi back to Nolan and back to Desi. Tweaked his shoulder, taking him out for precautionary reasons. Keith thinks he's going to be okay, but just didn't want to take a chance. He was having some difficulty throwing up in the cage, so can't have that.
And for John tonight, in the first inning, a couple fastballs that were misplaced, and then the slider to Muncy, but in between, it still looks like it's not quite as sharp as it's been his first 4 starts.
Yeah, not quite as sharp for sure, Huey. I think the game in Milwaukee, he was outstanding. Just doesn't seem to have the fastball command like he did his last start. Throwing some good sliders. The one to Muncy wasn't quite as sharp.
All right, we'll let you get
Thanks,
back
buddy.
to your perch, buddy. Thanks as always.
Okay, guys.
So here we go in the 5th inning, and the first pitch is on the ground to DJ Jock Peterson. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up the 2-hole hitter, Justin Turner. Well, if you missed it, here's the double play turn. It's a 3-5-3 because of the shift double play. Nolan fired a strike to first, and everything looked just fine. And he looked back and didn't indicate at that time that something had occurred.
Sometimes after you make that throw, it takes a little bit for the arm to react. But the good news is they don't think it's anything bad. Just precautionary to take him out now, and so it doesn't turn into something worse.
Ryan McMahon, who's so versatile. Ryan, a natural third baseman, but he's played a lot of first and second this year for the Rockies. 1 strike on Turner. That's a good looking pitch just off the plate though, so it's 2-1. That's a great example of what we're talking about with the Dodgers. They hit a lot of home runs. They walk a lot. There's a lot of guys that fire at that 1-1 pitch. Dodgers have good discipline. That's a strike. 2-2. So
it's not, to me, it's not like what the A's do, where they're really trying to put the pitch counter, you know, you see 4.5 pitches per at bat or whatever their number might be. See, I think for the Dodgers, though, and talking to their hitting coach, Turner Ward, is that it's more about getting the guy in the zone. Now, once they're in the zone, that's when they really go to attacking. But I think that's kind of their philosophy.
And you hear that a lot from hitting coaches. Get this guy in the zone. Be aggressive in the zone. You can say that all you want, but sometimes when the adrenaline's flowing, doesn't always work that way.
But then you have to have the guys buy into it.
Yep. And they have some super aggressive guys. I mean, Jock Peterson, super aggressive guy. Corey Seager's out all year, super aggressive guy.
Yeah. Those two guys swinging at the first pitch that they see.
Yeah, Bellinger, real aggressive.
Got him again.
Now that's the second time John has hit Turner, and he was ahead. So now with one out, Turner goes down to first. He's been on all 3 times. And that'll bring up Grandal, who hit into that 3-5-3 double play. Yasmani hit a home run in the Oakland series, his 20th of the year. So he's eclipsed the 20 home run mark 3 straight years. The last catcher to do that for the Dodgers is the guy that you're thinking of, the Hall of Famer Mike Piazza, who did it 5 straight years between '93 and '97. There aren't many guys in the sport who catch and hit home runs anymore.
No.
Or hit for average. 2 pretty good ones in this division, because Grandal is a very accomplished offensive player. He's made himself a much better defensive player. Frames pitches well, and is always marked pretty high with the metrics that cover that. And of course, Buster Posey.
Buster, yeah. But they made Hold on a second. What's going on here?
There's 1-1 on the board. Is there? Is there a discrepancy in what they thought the count was? 1-2.
I'm not sure, because I wasn't understanding what James Hoy was yelling to the dugout. It still counts. I don't get that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was saying it's a 1-1 count or it still counts.
Yeah. Bud had that quizzical look on his face.
1-2. And there goes Grandal for the second out. That is just the 3rd strikeout tonight for John.
Yeah, the first 2 came on sliders. That was a curveball from John.
He has several pitches, as you know, in his arsenal that can miss bats, and he also can get stronger. I thought the best inning he had in Milwaukee in his last outing was the 8th inning. Struck out the side,
yeah.
And it was, I mean, it was dominant stuff.
He left it all out there in that 8th inning.
One more note about catchers, 2A catchers. If you're into WAR, which, you know, for me, sometimes I raise my eyebrow. It depends which WAR you're referring to, but we'll use Fangraphs here for catchers. JT Realmuto, terrific catcher for the Marlins. He can really run, and he's a good receiver, strong arm. 3.4 above, you know, wins above replacement. Grandal 2nd. Posey right now is 6th. 2-0.
Who's 3rd on that list?
Wilson Contreras. And you know who's 4th? Guy the Rockies just saw, Francisco Cervelli of the Pirates.
10 home runs this year for Cervelli.
Well, that pitch right at the top of the zone has not been called all night. So now it's 3-0. And you see Buddy's reaction. And that's a pitch, you know, he's asking Chris, but that's a pitch, we talk about east-west, harder to tell. But you can tell north-south from the dugout.
Well, and Chris also held it, I think, about 2 seconds.
He's out of small zone. Part of the game is adjusting.
And everybody knows it now because you've seen enough pitches. I mean, 88 pitches for John, and Maeda's in the 70s.
And he walked him. So that pushes Turner in a 3-3 game to scoring position. A hit batter and a walk, and Cody Bellinger coming up is 2 for 2.
MLB at Bat is your #1 Rockies app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rockies home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Steve Foster out there meeting. Bellinger 2 singles. Strike one.
I like that they started him off speed. Both hits tonight from Bellinger have been on fastballs.
And a base hit around third. Here comes Turner with the go-ahead run. Bellinger is 3 for 3, and he just gave the Dodgers a 4-3 advantage here in the 5th. That hit batter now turns costly, as well as the walk.
54 RBIs for Bellinger, and he turns a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, rips it past the diving Trevor.
One of the differences in this ball game right now, the Dodgers haven't had many opportunities, 4 with runners in scoring position, but they have 3 hits. The Rockies have had 6 opportunities. They're 0 for 6. And we've talked a whole lot about runners in scoring position the last few weeks. Rockies, unfortunately, since the All-Star break, last in Major League Baseball in that category. And Harrison Musgrave is going to start throwing. First and third. 0-1 on Chris Taylor.
Well, you got to kind of watch it now too if you're the Rockies, with Bellinger at first, Dozier at third.
Bellinger's 8 out of 8.
Well, that's what I mean, where he takes off, and then depending on where the throw is, Dozier comes home. Especially if you get to 2 strikes on the hitter.
Based on the alignment and based on what you typically do, I assume this is DJ's bag.
Yes. Just because Trevor's pulled in the hole a couple steps.
Yeah, in the old days, this is where you'd see the bluff to third, come back to first. That is no longer legal. I have no idea why they take that out. I mean,
no idea why they took that out.
Oh, 1. Bellinger got tied up. That's another pitch that's borderline. 1-1. Bellinger wanted to go, but John, one of the things John does really well is he'll hold the baseball and kind of freeze the feet of the runner.
That's all it takes. Said before, the base runner's thinking once that glove comes set, within 2 seconds the ball's going to be delivered home.
2-1.
So if you hold it and you wait, he gets antsy, and then the feet just lock up.
So that's now in the mid-90s pitch-wise. He's got to get out of this. Taylor, a strikeout and a ground ball to second. Swung on and missed. 2-2.
Yeah, you might get some action, as they was talking about, with 2 strikes to Taylor, where Bellinger takes off, and then how do the Rockies play it? Do they throw all the way through, or just fake the throw and look towards third?
Bellinger going, and it's fouled off.
DJ was breaking towards the bag. We're going through the signs.
Two runner going, swung on and missed. In the inning, there was 1 hit, 1 run, a hit batter, and a walk. Middle of 5, the Dodgers have taken the lead 4-3. The Rockies fell behind 1-0 in the top of the first. They took a 2-1 lead, then a 3-1 lead, then a 2-run home run by Max Muncy got it even. And now the Dodgers added a run on a Bellinger base hit. So it's 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Ryan Spilboards. And this will be the first at bat for Ryan McMahon. Again, he came in defensively last half inning for Nolan Arenado, who, according to Buddy Black, who we had on last half inning as well from the dugout, mild strain of the shoulder for Nolan. So he's been removed. First pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike on McMahon. Be followed by Story and Dahl. The Rockies have put pressure on Maeda in every inning, and quite frankly, I know that dugout's got to feel like they should have more than 3 on the board.
For sure. I mean, definitely. You had the base running mistake by Cargo in that first inning, and then not getting the ball in the air. It's not so much just even getting a hit. And Trevor came home.
He went 1-2 on McMahon. Southern California kid, and now makes his home in Scottsdale, as so many of the players do, so they can just go to the facility in the offseason.
And why not with that facility?
Yeah.
I'd be living down there too.
One, two. And a little fly ball to left. That'll bring up Story.
It's about that time when kids are going back to school, so you can head back to school and support the Colorado Rockies by wearing gear from your favorite player. The Dugout Store has 5 location exclusive gift with purchase programs and special promotions.
Story, a line double down the left field line to bring in Cargo with the Rockies' 3rd run. That came in the 3rd inning. Musgrave stopped throwing.
I think John's going back out.
He's got the bottom of the order coming up for LA. And I think you're right.
Now, if his spot comes to hit this inning, then I think for Bud, he'll go to the pinch hitter. But remember, you're a man short already with Ryan McMahon coming into the game for for Nolan, excuse me. John, 97 pitches.
1-2. Rockies 23-24 so far against the West. To win the division, they'll have to finish well above 500 against the NL West.
Turn around right now against the Dodgers too, who are just 3-7 against in the first 10 games.
Baseball is like one of those beach balls they have going at Dodger Stadium that doesn't stay in one place very long.
Oh,
Chris
very nice,
Irwin,
Chris.
good guy.
Nicely done, Chris.
Yeah. Rockies will finally get a day off Monday in Houston. And after this series concludes, it'll have been 17 straight days of baseball for Colorado. One out. Here's another 1-2. 2-2.
17 days used to be kind of the norm norm before the new CBA and the extra days off for the players. You would think twice about playing 17 days in a row. Now it's a little unusual.
Yeah, you'd see 20 games in a row, and that was the rule.
That
You
was the
couldn't
rule,
play
yeah.
more than that, and if there was a rain out or something, you had to get a waiver from the Players Association to play a 21st in a row. Two and two. And 3-2. Huge Friday night crowd. There were more than 43,000 last night.
Should be close to sellout tonight. Just look
Okay.
down the lines.
Never know what Maeda will throw. He doesn't just line up and throw a fastball 3-2. He throws a slider and strikes him out.
They got away with one on the slider because they wanted that away. But it didn't catch. That's pitch number 8 on the Subaru strike zone. That's not where Grandal had set up. Wanted it away, and it backs up inside, but he catches the corner. Trevor.
Oh, and 1 on David Dahl. The Rockies have had at least 2 men on in every inning. Here in the 5th so far, nothing going on. First 2 men retired by Maeda.
So John's ready to go. He's going to be able to sit down for a couple of hitters. Get some runs on.
It's something to get life back in that Rockies dugout. 1-2. And David back even. 2-2. Best inning of the night for Maeda. He strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 fifth. He has 6 strikeouts, and the Dodgers are leading 4-3. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. We go to the top of the 6th inning. The Dodgers, who won last night 8-5, lead the Rockies right now 4-3. John Gray will face the bottom third of the Dodger lineup here in the 6th inning. Muncy hit a 2-run home run against him in the 4th. Then Yasiel Puig and Kenta Maeda scheduled. Muncy got ahead 2-0. And then he took a slider deep his first time. That pitch high, ball 1. 6 home runs in the series already for LA. That's what they've been doing all year. And again, John falls behind 2-0. Musgrave is back up.
So the 99 pitches this year, the most John's thrown in a game is 108.
That was the curveball, and it's 2-1.
For his career, you go back to 2016, he threw 115 in a game at Atlanta. Back to the curveball.
Three and 1. Beat him with a fastball. 3-2.
That's because he was perfectly located on the Subaru strike zone. Stay away from his power. Muncy's looking to pull. I know he hit the one out to left yesterday, but ahead in the count 3-1, 2-0. He's looking to yank it to right field.
And that ball is hit with authority to deep left, and Dahl can't make the catch. Off the wall, Muncy into second with a double. He'll stop there.
Well, David had that one tracked down. Right now, Max Muncy's living in a bubble in a good hitter's world. David, he's looking for the wall. He's running parallel. Let's go off the end of the glove. No, just barely on the Subaru Supermo.
Here's Puig. Maeda is on deck.
Bullpen for the Dodgers. I don't see anybody up yet.
I would think Gray has the next 2 hitters, and then when it goes to Peterson, probably when you'd see Buddy make a move. And a ground ball to the right side. Puig does a good job. He moves the runner.
How does Dave Roberts play? Does he send Maeda? Yeah, he is. So now you can play the infield in.
I think this has something to do with the fact that their bullpen's now short. You probably followed this late yesterday or early today. Kenley Jansen's not with the Dodgers. He was sent back to Los Angeles. He had an irregular heartbeat, and this is something that occurred in 2012 with Kenley, and so he's undergoing numerous tests with his cardiologist, and there is no timetable for his return. And I know it had been reported, and we both talked to Dave Roberts today, that he's going to be out at least a month. And what Dave told us is that depends on if they give blood thinners. If they were to give blood thinners, then it would be in the neighborhood of a month, but that has not been completely decided evidently yet. So a lot of people are rushing and assuming that. Here's the 1-0 to Maeda, ground ball foul.
So Dave was going to wait, and he was hoping to get some information even before the game started so he could let his teammates know. And first and foremost are well wishes to Kenley Jansen on his health.
Absolutely. Pat Venditti, who was up until a couple of days ago, he was sent out. Now he's
I think he might even just stayed at the hotel.
This is popped up. McMahon will make the catch, and there's the second out. So now a decision for Buddy, and he's already made it. He's going to go left on left with Jock Peterson coming up. So Buddy will go get Musgrave, and he'll be asked to get Peterson when we come back. The Dodgers 4, the Rockies 3. 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
With 2 outs. We were talking about Kenley Jansen. The Dodgers are down a relief pitcher with their closer. Well, the Rockies yesterday didn't have the ability to go to Adam Ottavino in the 8th inning because yesterday he was experiencing flu-like symptoms. It was so bad that he had to go to the hospital, get an IV. And earlier today we saw him after his workout. He looked okay. He said he was feeling better. So Bud Black apparently talked to Otto, and he will be available tonight, guys.
Yeah, you just wonder how strong he is, Spilly, and he's been the mainstay of that Rockies bullpen. He's been the MVP of that Rockies bullpen.
Well, even if he's only available for 1 hitter, I mean, that's better than, you know, the option they had last night, which was none.
So it'll be up to Harrison Musgrave to keep it a 1-run game. He has faced Jock Peterson 1 time in his brief big league career, and he's gotten him out.
Lefty's hitting just .213 against Harrison on the year.
Good pitch at the top of the zone, but it has not been called a strike all night. 1-0. Let's see at third, a leadoff double.
Strike out, ball 2. Both of them were in the Subaru strike zone.
Two and one.
Times for Jock Peterson, it's almost like the big softball swing. You know, in slow pitch softball, that guy just winds up and he's just letting it fly.
Peterson left on left, hitting just 140. In the air to left. left field, fairly deep. Dahl should have a play. And that'll put the inning down. Muncy left at third base. Good job by Musgrave. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. The Rockies trail 4-3 at Coors Field. Kurt Kubota, pitching performance of the night, a comparison to John Gray and Kenta Maeda. Gray goes 5 2/3, 4 runs, 8 hits, struck out 4, walked 1. John not as sharp as he's been the last 4, but kept the Rockies in this game. Maeda, the Rockies had great opportunities the first 4 innings. Quite honestly, they should have more than 3 runs, but he's still out there as he begins the 6th inning. It'll be Desmond, Iannetta, and then a pinch hitter. Former Rocky Zach Rosscup is now throwing in the Dodger pen, one of 3 lefties they have available.
Zach was claimed off waivers. Rockies tried to put him through. Started the year on the DL with the finger problem that he had.
Just looking ahead. If it gets to Charlie this inning, and hopefully it does, that's where you think Dave Roberts would pop out of the dugout and bring in Rosscup, who last year was really good. Some brief appearances left on left.
Also, too, it might also depend on who pinch hits. If there's that, is it going to be Pat or Gerardo?
Valaika is the only right-handed bat available. Again, McMahon's already in the ball game. An inning ago, Nolan had to leave with what they're calling right shoulder soreness. 2-2. Buddy told us when he visited with us, as he always does on Friday night, that he was on the throw to first on that double play, the 3-5-3 double play, and then he went up and tried to throw in the cage, and there was enough discomfort that Keith Duggar, the trainer, decided along with Buddy that it would be best to pull him out of the ball game. 2-2.
I guarantee he's already had some sort of treatment, whether it's just icing the shoulder down right now or some muscle stems, something. They're already working on it. They'll do it again before he even goes home tonight.
The 2 big options are there for the Rockies, Pat Valaika and Gerardo Parra. Desi, base hit, left field. Leadoff single in the 6th, tying run aboard. bring up Iannetta.
Just trying to think ahead now too, and I know Pat just came to the on-deck circle. But if Chris gets on, you might have the option of using a pitcher to bunt with this short bench now.
I like the way you're thinking. You know, Kyle Freeland goes tomorrow. Marquez would be, I think, somebody would be a real likely option. If you wanted to go Anderson, you could go in that direction. No, it's not. It's not going to be Anderson based on that look. Sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
If we could tilt down, we probably will see him in sneakers. One and one. Chris, a base hit. He was caught looking. 1 for 2.
Just trying to look. Yeah, Tyler has the most sack bunts. Ramon has a couple. Kyle has a couple, but Kyle's pitching tomorrow.
Yes, you kind of typically, not guaranteed, would stay away from him, but let's see how all of it plays out. Desi takes off and no throw from Grandal. So Desmond with a stolen base.
That's his 13th. It's 3 tonight for the Rockies. This is just a straight steal. He didn't look back. I think Grandal fumbling the baseball on the exchange on the Subaru Supermo. Didn't even get one off.
Worked him away. 2 and 1. Going to stay away, and it's 2 and 2. That's not generally a pitch that Chris Iannetta swings at.
No.
And I think the only reason he did was it was a pitch he could take to the right side.
Exactly. There he's thinking, I know it's away, and it might even end up being a ball off the plate, but you know, as close as Dozier is playing towards second base, there's a pretty sizable hole between first and second with Muncy and Dozier.
My guess is Buddy's committed right now to Valleca, no matter what. The best guy he has off the bench is Parra, and I think he wants to save him for later in the ballgame.
No doubt. And with Desi already getting to second base. That's not to say Pat still couldn't lay down a bunt to get to.
And Pat is outstanding at doing just that. In fact, if you had to pick one position player on the Rockies, he'd be near the top of the list of guys you'd want if that's what the direction turns to.
That's what I love about baseball. You're already thinking a couple moves ahead, and that's what managers have to do. And all these, what we've just been discussing has already been thought of between Bud and Mike Redmond down there.
Three-2. That's a big strikeout by Maeda. So Desmond remains at second, and going back to the dugout is Valleca, and Buddy will fire Parra here. And let's see if Dave Roberts pops out of the dugout. Here he comes. And this again is a matchup that Buddy felt he would take, and that is Parra against Roscoe. It's not like he was shocked when his good friend Dave Roberts came out of the dugout. So this is the matchup that he's basically selecting. in a one-run game. 4-3 in the sixth.
Bottom of the sixth inning. All fans tomorrow through the gates for the Rockies-Dodgers game will receive a Colorado Rockies baseball card pack courtesy of Topps. New pitcher for the Dodgers, Zach Roscup, just has appeared in 5 ball games, 2 2/3 innings, given up 4 hits.
Well,
1 walk, 2 strikeouts.
You know, he is truly a left-handed specialist. In his brief big league career, lefties have hit just 141 against him. Parra, a professional hitter. Parra this year hitting 190 though against lefties. So this will be the matchup. Roscup, big league time with the Cubs. Last year got in 9 games with the Rockies. Rockies like Roscup. They tried to keep him around, but you know, at some point in time you have 40-man roster issues, and when you add a player, you have to subtract a player, and Zach didn't clear waivers.
And he hadn't pitched yet this year. They thought originally it was a blister, but then it ended up being a wart on his finger, and just a lot of different things. And finally, the Rockies had to do what they did, and the Dodgers claimed him.
Tying run at second, and Desmond 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kike Hernandez started at center last night. He plays a much deeper center field than Bellinger does. Bellinger is moderate depth.
Probably a good 20 feet closer than Kike was last night. Kike could almost lay down back onto the warning track. That's how deep he plays.
Blackman on deck. Parra facing a 1-2 count. Jake McGee is up for the Rockies. No one else. So it looks like 51 will be in the game next for Colorado. 4-3 LA. Took a 1-0 lead in the first. The Rockies got 2 back quickly on a DJ LeMahieu home run, expanded their lead to 3-1. Then they got caught and passed.
Base runners every inning except for the 5th inning.
2-2, good swing. Cup strikes out Parra, 2 outs. Rockies have struck out 8 times tonight. 2 outs in the 6th, and that'll bring up Blackman.
One thing for Charlie, that whole time he was pretty close to home. He was studying Zach Roscup. He's obviously faced him at some point. As far as spring training, you see a couple of at bats, but Charlie was right there getting his timing down the whole, that whole at bat for Gerardo.
Charlie's hitting .293 this year against lefties. Better than what he's hitting against righties right now, .269 against righties. And throughout his career, Charlie has been one of the best hitters in baseball against lefties. Not just left on left of anybody. He's hit well over 300 in his career against southpaws.
He took a good swing against Vasquez in that game on Wednesday afternoon. He lined out to left on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Two outs, Desmond at second. One and one. Rockies looking for that key hit.
Yeah, they're 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Not good.
Making that slow walk out to the mound. A lot of times you think that's to buy time for somebody to get up in the bullpen, but there's nobody getting loose for the Dodgers.
Charlie fouls out back, 2-2. That was to his liking. That was right down the heart of the plate.
Pitch 4 on the Subaru strike zone.
Completes the play at first. The Rockies failed to get Desmond home. He was standing out there at second base the whole inning. It remains 4-3 LA.
Coors Field, Rockies trailing the Dodgers 4-3 as we head to the top of the 7th inning, looking for a little Lodo magic. Maybe we'll get it by reliving a famous Tulo magic day. This date in Rockies history, August 10, 2009, Tulo became the 5th Rocky to hit for the cycle, an 11-5 win over the Cubs. A couple swim moves. I think everybody will remember the ball down the left field line that he hustled for that triple, and another swim move. It's the Rockies need tonight. Swim move over the Dodgers, Drew.
Yeah, that was a great night for Tulowitzki. May have been a double and a half, but you know what? He'll take that triple. Rockies do need Lodo magic. They got Desmond at second as you look at the numbers on Jake McGee, and then they had 3 empty at bats, 3 punch outs, 1 by Maeda and then 2 by Rosscup, the former Rocky. So here in the 7th, it'll be Turner, Grandal, and Dozier against Jake McGee.
Jake's trying to find it here in the second half. A 10.38 ERA post All-Star break.
Told me the other day, one of the things he's changed in his bullpen routine is right before he comes out on the field, throws about 8 pitches at pretty close to max effort. And he feels that's why the last couple of outings his velocity has been up and stayed up. This is an easy play for DJ on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And that's what they were hoping to see, a little more consistency with that fastball velocity.
And even though he gave up the home run in his last outing to Josh Harrison, the velocity has been 95, 96, 97 as opposed to 91, 92, and then, you know, a flash of a 94, 95.
And I'm sure for Jake that feels good when he can look up to the big board and see that almost after every pitch.
And there's 96 again, pretty consistent. Grandal much better from the left side. He's hitting just .211 righty this year.
Yeah, with an OPS of just 675.
He hit an RBI single in the first. He's 1 for 3. This will be on the bullpens both ways. Of course, the Dodgers have the 1-run advantage. Gray goes 5 2/3. Maeda goes 5 1/3. And this is an easy play for Story. 2 gone as Grandal is thrown out.
Difference, and we've already talked about Kenley Jansen being out now. It's going to be a closer by committee, says Dave Roberts. And then how does that committee look? Who's the head of the committee?
I got some numbers for you to take a look at in a moment with the bullpen, the much maligned bullpen for the Rockies, and it's, you know, been the subject of many a conversation, not only on our air, but I'm sure around the table with passionate Rockies fans. We'll get to it next inning. How about that? That's a great inning from Jake McGee. You talk about quick and efficient. 3 ground balls, 6 pitches. 4-3. Rockies will have LeMahieu next inning. There's our Coors Light refreshing finish. Rockies were down 1-0 first inning. DJ LeMahieu goes opposite field. His first home run since late June, a 2-run shot. 9th of the year. That's our Coors Light refreshing finish. May need another refreshing finish from DJ. 7th inning. The Rockies trailing 4-3. Game 2 of a 4-game set. Big set between the Rockies and Dodgers. Rockies trailing LA and Arizona by 3.5 in the very good National League West. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, Ryan Spilborghs, and Ross Cup is still out there.
Because he's going to have the right-hander and then a couple left-handers with Cargo and then Ryan McMahon come into the ball game for Nolan.
Again, Ross Cup had, as you said, had pitched only 2 2/3 of an inning in a Dodger uniform. We got the final 2 outs in the 6th inning. Two 2-0 on his former teammate LeMahieu. Rockies tonight 0 for 9 runners in scoring position. Since the All-Star break, they've hit 153.
Ooh.
28 for 153. It's got to flip and quickly. 3-1. A late decision on that fastball by DJ. 3-2.
I saw Ross Cup's fastball played up a little bit just because of his windup. He hides the ball pretty well.
DJ, base hit the other way. Seen that before. So again, the Rockies get a lead single in a 1-run game. I'll bring up Cargo against Ross Cup. Now Cargo, just a different player this year. Last year he hit just 206 against lefties. This year he's hitting 297 against lefties.
And we've seen him take a lot of balls to left center field. And that's an indication that he's keeping that right shoulder in. And that's the way the outfield now is aligned with Cody Bellinger out there. He's shaded pretty far into left center field, according to our Subaru StatCast.
Cargo thought about the bunt. Again, the high strike both ways has not been called tonight. That is, right, maybe an inch or two above the belt, but it's called ball 1, which works well for Cargo. Jeff mentioned, with Nolan having to be removed from the game with the sore right shoulder, it is Ryan McMahon, another lefty, on deck. Beyond McMahon is Trevor Story. One. That's when you're seeing the ball well.
I was going to say that, Drew. That was the pitch that last year was eating him up.
Sure.
Left on left.
The body was just, it was contorted, and he would get so wound up. It was almost as if at times he was predetermining when he was going to swing.
Sure.
As crazy as that may sound. quiet this year. That's bounced to first, and Muncy comes up with it.
Muncy just almost acted like a goalie there, not to let the ball get by him. There was no pretense of trying to pick that and apply a tag.
Two one. 2-2. Around the 7th inning last night that all the fireworks started happening in the ball game. Rockies got 4 in the 7th yesterday, highlighted by the 3-run Chris Iannetta home run. And I've tried to wipe out of my mind what happened after that. 2-2 on Cargo. And Roscup able to strike out Carlos. 1 out. That'll bring up McMahon. That's the 3rd strikeout for Roscup.
Three of them against the left-handed batters, Para, Blackman, and Cargo.
Rockies now have struck out 10 times in the game. But also think back early in the ball game. Cargo doesn't make many base running mistakes. Made the mistake of going with nobody out. He had just tripled, nobody out, and a ground ball right at the third baseman Turner. He was thrown out. As the great Vin Scully would say, from you to me. So the Rockies lost a great opportunity for a run there.
Well, you know, too, that even if he doesn't go, they throw across. They're not going to play the infield in with Trevor early in the game. So, I mean, he's going to have the opportunity to drive you in.
McMahon hits a high fly ball. Deep center field. Did he catch enough of it? Yes, indeed. 2-run home run. Ryan McMahon. And the Rockies go back in front. How do you like that?
He's pointing at a lot of people. He's pointing at somebody behind home plate. But the biggest point he had was once he rounded first base, he looked back to the dugout and was pointing to them. Biggest guy to give him a hug. He's in the middle of it all the time. He turns his fastball and sends it deep into the night. Right over dead center field. And this shows you some of this power of this young man.
He has one of the prettiest swings you will see.
Now
And that was left on left. And look at this.
Love it.
Absolutely. So Ryan McMahon puts the Rockies in front 5-4. And the Dodgers will change. Zach Roscup was good for 3 hitters, could not get the next lefty.
the year, 13 RBIs, and more importantly, give the Rockies that 1-run lead. Time now for the Subaru StatCast on the home run from Ryan McMahon, 101.5 miles an hour, 33-degree launch angle, and a distance projected at 412 feet, and a lot of celebrations, a lot of high fives going along there, and throwing some hugs too.
Not that it matters. It's para time, by the way. As Story steps in against Dylan Floro. I got one note on your StatCast here in a moment. Floro on the outside corner for a strike. How does the ball go projected 412 feet when it went over the center field wall and it says 415 on it?
Maybe they since it went to the right of that 415. I don't know. That's just what their StatCast is telling me. I agree with what you're saying. To me, it's like at least 416 feet.
And the right field line with some tail on it. Is it? No, it's not.
Right? So if it's 415, it goes over the wall. It's got to be at least 416, huh?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I could care less. I know where it went.
It doesn't matter. It says HR.
2 strikes on Story. Doubled in a run back in the third, his 80th ribby of the year. Good swing. Trevor slipped in the batter's box. 1 out. David Dahl behind Trevor. Because it was such a quick inning and a dominant one by Jake McGee, there's nobody up in the Rockies' pen.
Well, the other thing too, the 2 out of the 3 guys are left-handed hitters. You got Bellinger, then Taylor, and then Muncy. And Otto is down. I mean, he might be available, but you don't know how strong he is.
Look out! Wow, Dahl. Dahl's like, hey, I'm minding my own business over here, just trying to prepare for my at bat. And I almost got a baseball in the shins. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2 on Story, who's hit .333 since June the 1st. Which is the 4th highest average in Major League Baseball, 2nd best in the National League. He's also slugged .610, maybe more importantly, since June the 1st. Two-two. In the air, high and deep, right center field, way back, and caught one step in front of the wall by Yasiel Puig for the 2nd out. That had 42,000 out of their seats.
So close. It was more towards the end of the bat, but shows you the strength of Trevor. Off the bat, you're hoping, you're thinking. Guys in the bullpen, they're trying to wave it out towards him too.
Here's David Dahl, 0 for 3 tonight. Takes ball 1.
And I think if there's any at bat that David would like to have back, it was his 2nd one, the one in the 3rd inning with Trevor at 3rd, infield in.
Yep, that was the one with 1 out. So twice tonight the Rockies have had runners thrown out at the plate. The base running mistake by Cargo, and then, you know, the at bat that As you said, Dahl had the bat broken and a roller right to Dozier, infield in. 2-0.
Well, and he was ahead in the count too in that at bat. 1-0. Took the first pitch away for a ball.
Ball is sliced to left center field. Bellinger called off and nobody makes the catch. Peterson reached out late. Bellinger thought he had called him off. And Dahl standing at second base.
That was the old "I've got it, you take it." John Peterson's played a lot of center field in his career, some left. And Bellinger backs off. He doesn't go after it, and then it was almost like there was a wall there. He was afraid that he was going to fall over the wall if he went any further as he reached for that ball. Double for David.
That's the only way you could score that. And now the Rockies, maybe an opportunity to swipe a run here.
Make him pay.
Desmond, a single his last time up. Now they just changed it and they're going to give Jock Peterson an error.
Without touching the ball.
Yeah, you know, I always wonder about that. It's a miscommunication and it drops, and therefore it should be a hit. To clank off his glove. It's at the bottom of the zone and it's called a ball, 1-1.
Definite mental error.
What you don't know is, you know, maybe Bellinger thought he heard Peterson and he did.
It's hard when you're, as you said, 42,000 of the enemy's fans yelling, screaming.
1-2. Bottom of the seventh, the Rockies have gone in front 5-4. Yesterday at this juncture, around this time of night, they took a 5-3 lead on the 3-run home run by Chris Iannetta tonight. It was a 2-run home run from Ryan McMahon. There's Chris. Desmond strikes out. That'll end the inning. McMahon, a 2-run shot to dead center field. The Rockies lead the Dodgers 5-4 as we go to the 8th inning at Coors Field. Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Ryan McMahon, who's in the game because Nolan Arenado's right shoulder got sore. And in his second at bat since entering the ball game, he hits a monstrosity of a home run left on left straight away to give the Rockies a 5-4 lead late. And now it'll be upon that bullpen that has been much maligned to close it out. This will be the second inning of work for Jake McGee, who had a terrific 3 weak ground balls. And he'll go against Cody Bellinger, who's 3 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch is in there at 95 for a strike.
Just 6 pitches in his last inning of work for Jake, 5 strikes. Bellinger hitting .211 against lefties this year.
And that slider is just off the plate. Well, look at the Rockies' record month by month, and it kind of aligns with what has happened with the bullpen. The Rockies got off to a solid start, 15-15 first month, 15-11 in May, and a 4.04 ERA, pretty solid. June, if we put that graphic back up, June was a rough month for the Rockies. They went 11-16, and the bullpen had almost an 8 ERA. July was their best month of the year. Look where the pen was.
Not shocking.
Yeah, and so far it's been a tough August. They're 2-7 in August, and the bullpen's got a 6.5. 2-2.
I mean, even without showing that graphic, you could kind of, I mean, you watch every game like we do at home. You're watching it, you can tell that, but the numbers just support it. As you said, just in the 3s in July.
Really, the only way it's going to turn around is, you know, the guys that historically who've been very good in their careers, guys like Jake McGee, Brian Shaw, Wade Davis, to have strong finishes to the season. 3-2. And of course, that is entirely possible.
They've done it for numerous years in their career.
Goldberg's up for the Rockies now, and the former Rocky, John Axton, is up for the Dodgers. Axford, I'm sorry. Good plate coverage there by Bellinger. It remains 3-2. There's Axford.
John was picked up from Toronto
right before the trade deadline. Keep in mind the Dodgers on their bench have Machado, Kemp, Kike Hernandez. You know, if you're Bellinger, Huey, you're a left-handed hitter. He's eliminated anything but the fastball.
Sure.
Because Jake will throw some sliders, but typically not in a high leverage count.
Well, and not that and not now too, because he has his fastball velocity back. But I think if you're going to beat Bellinger, I mean, you could beat him up a little bit, up in the zone.
Down and away, and that pitch is fouled off again also at 98. That may be the hardest pitch we've seen Jake throw all year.
I think it is. Just trying to think back in recent memory.
The next pitch will be the 9th between these two. And again, in his last inning, he got 3 outs on 6 pitches. That's baseball.
Go figure.
Bellinger, Taylor, Muncy schedule. And this is in the air to left. Cargo, or excuse me, right. Cargo will make the play. Got it in enough that Bellinger couldn't barrel it. So McGee wins that battle. And here comes Taylor, who hurt the Rockies last night in the ninth.
He had a curveball out last night in the ninth. Taylor a higher batting average against right-handers this year than he does against left-handers. 265 against the righties, just 227 against the left-handers.
You never want to get too far ahead, but you wonder how the ninth inning will play out if Jake McGee can get through the eighth and preserve the Rockies' one-run lead. You'll have Davis, you'll have Ottavino, maybe. Again, Ottavino, as Billy said, back in that bullpen, but it's pretty weak earlier. After taking an IV yesterday with flu-like symptoms, had to go to the hospital. One and two on Taylor. That's another pitch. Man, there's been a boatload of pitches tonight. Again, I'm not saying this just from the Rockies' perspective. There's plenty the other way also. It's been a postage stamp tonight for James Hoy. But I suppose, as we always say, you want consistency. That pitch just not called a strike tonight. The upper parts of the zone. This is line to center field with authority. On the move is Charlie. Will tuck it away. 2 outs.
I'm just looking down now after that to see if he would go to the bench and pinch hit for Muncy.
Muncy's hitting 288 left on left, and obviously he's in a good place. He's hit a home run in each ball game. I'm thinking that Dave Roberts is looking to that ninth inning. Jock Peterson will stay in if there's a right-hander. Grandal,
so then you would have, one of those Kemper Machado hitting in the pitcher spot.
Yeah, and beyond that, maybe Kemp doesn't get an opportunity. You'd assume they'd go to Machado because he is swinging the bat better than Matt Kemp right now. One strike on the dangerous Max Muncy, who has a double along with the 2-run home run tonight.
Another pitch, 97 from Jake.
And clearly it's Machado who's going to take that at bat. Got the gloves and the helmet. And a bat, which is useful if you're going to pinch hit. 0-2. And that's a base hit. Cargo hustling, trying to keep Muncy from going to second, and he's not going to be able to do it. Boy, Muncy with his 3rd extra base hit. He now has more hits in this series than he had his previous 2 weeks. He came in a slump. He's got 2 homers and 2 doubles. Tying run at second all of a sudden.
And he was hustling out of the box to get this double.
So Jake McGee, an inning and 2/3, threw the ball very well. He'll need help from Scott Oberg here in the 8th.
25th for the Beatles tribute ticket package. The ticket package includes a limited edition Beatles shirt. Visit Rockies.com/Beatles for tickets. A little tight affair here at Coors Field. Tying run at second base with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. It'll be up to Scott Oberg to come in and lock this down as he faces Yasiel Puig. Scotty gave up a couple home runs in last night's ball game, the 2 pinch hit home runs.
Puig tonight has hit it on the ground 3 times, 0 for 3.
1 for 5 in the previous matchups against Scott.
Slider. Good call by Iannetta, well executed by Oberg. 0-1.
And I think at times that's Scott's best pitch, his slider.
Two outs in the 8th. I went back to it, missed. 1-1. Scott, when he starts an inning clean, has been good this year. When he's inherited traffic, he's had issues at times. 21 out of 34 inherited runners have scored. He's working to correct that here in the last couple of months. Got to get Puig. And that goes past Iannetta. It's 2-1. Muncy to third. It'll be a wild pitch.
Third wild pitch on the year.
By comparison, only 31 by the opposition. 2-1, 2-2. Good fastball at 96.
Does he go to? Does he go to the fastball or the slider?
2-2. Ground ball toward the middle. Story's got it on the move's got him at first. Scott Oberg gets Puig. Muncy left at third. To the bottom of the 8th we go. The Rockies up 5-4. Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. And the Rockies do score 7 or more in a game. Right now they have 5. They're up 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Big out from Scott Oberg. Great work from the guy on the left. Jake McGee goes an inning and 2/3, one of his longest stints of the season. So now the Rockies will try to add some insurance against John Axford. And change to tell you about defensively for the Dodgers. Manny Machado comes in at short. Chris Taylor goes to center field. Bellinger, who is in center, goes to right. And Puig comes out.
John Axford's appeared in 539 games.
He's pitched in one game in a Dodger uniform, and it did not go well.
No.
The third of an inning, he gave up 6 runs. So he has an ERA right now with LA of 162.
Have 3 hits and a couple walks.
If that's your bowling average, pretty good. Not good if that's your ERA.
Yeah.
And it is Adam Ottavino up in the Rockies bullpen. That pitch looked like it was pretty good. And that was called a ball. 2-0.
There's also box behind the plate by Grandal.
Let's go downstairs, check in with Ryan Spilborn. Spilly.
Well, it's funny you guys are talking about that outing for John Axford. Him and I caught up a little bit today. It was good to see him. And he was talking about it. He said, listen, I've gone my entire career. His very first start in the big leagues was what he felt was his worst appearance ever. And then he got trumped by the latest one with the Dodgers. He was like, everything in between has been good, except for the bookend so far. Guys?
All right, Spilly, right now it's a 2-0 count on Chris with the Rockies up a run.
John pitched for the Rockies in 2015, and that year he had a 4.20 ERA, 25 saves.
Two-1 to Iannetta. That pitch ruled high, 3-1. You may recall a really scary moment in spring training in 2015. John Axford's little boy Jameson was in the front yard, Scottsdale, bit by a rattlesnake. And Jameson is doing great.
That's wonderful news.
This ball in the air, left center field, and misread by Peterson. It'll be extra bases for Chris. He may get 3 out of this. He will. I had that all day. Triple by Iannetta.
So did I. Not a good route in left field by Chuck Peterson. The last couple innings have been an adventure for him. He went across and then had to go back. He's going the straight line across, and right now he goes, I'm in trouble. And then all he can do is run it down. To Chris's credit, he keeps moaning around, doesn't even stop, ball in front of him. He makes the decision.
First triple this year for Iannetta, so we'll scramble and look at the old media guide to see the last time Iannetta had a triple. This is one you have to cash in.
You do.
Pat Valaika will pinch hit. Iannetta doesn't run as well, so the infield, instead of creeping in toward the grass, are more halfway. First triple since 2012. Good swing by Valaika. That was a pitch up and in the middle of the zone.
It's got to be fairly deep, too, because all 3 outfielders for the Dodgers have strong arms, especially Chris Taylor and Jock Peterson. I mean, those 2 guys have very strong arms.
0-2. The Rockies tonight are 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And the thing is, they don't need a hit here.
No, they don't. As I was saying, you can get a medium to deep fly ball, you get that run in.
Oh-2. And that is strike 3. Well, that's one down, and Charlie will come up. Charlie is 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. The Rockies early in the game had a couple of big missed opportunities. Not to spend the whole night harping on it, but when you're playing divisional games against a really good opponent, you can't leave runs out there. They have to get Iannetta home here, get a 2-run lead. 1-0. Strondal keeps it around home plate.
Especially when you get Chris with the leadoff triple.
Yeah, the great thing, Chris, who's been in a slump, is really starting to swing the bat well.
Couple hits tonight, 2 for 4.
Charlie, comebacker. This won't work. Now it's going to be left to DJ. 0 for 12 tonight, runners in scoring position. It's not making it easy on themselves.
What I've seen too is kind of we're not driving in runs, we're not scoring runners in scoring position. So what you start to do is you start to expand the zone. We talk about, you know, passing the baton to the next guy. Well, when you feel like that pressure, and you feel like you've got to be the guy to do it, then you know, instead of taking the pitch or taking your walk, you'll expand and you get the weak out.
DJ's had a good night. 2-run home run early. Base hit his last time up. Dahl again with a good block. He also has a walk tonight, so he's been on 3 times in 4 plate appearances. The Rockies tonight now have had 4 at-bats with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, and have not been able to score that run. Ottavino in the 9th will have Machado, Peterson, Turner. That's a strike. That's a strike. Now DJ's got him in his comfort zone.
2 strikes down in the count. That's what you're saying?
Exactly.
Bellinger's playing deep and right, so there's some green grass behind the infield.
Here's the 1-2. The Rockies failed to get Iannetta home. Hopefully that was not costly. Adam Ottavino will try to close it out. Rockies up 5-4 as we go to the 9th.
Now, that's that look, Jenny. You know what that look is?
What's that look?
When he sees that sweet swing of Ryan McMahon.
Woohoo! 5-4. Rockies have the lead. We've been here before. Nail-biter's going to hang on for the 9, see if the Rockies can pull this one out. But if I told you before the game that DJ LeMahieu and Ryan McMahon were going to come through, you tell me the answer. They
I would
win
have
or
said
lose.
yes. Anybody can be the hero, but you know what? You didn't think it'd be easy, did you?
No,
No,
of course
not at
not.
all.
It's never easy, especially against the Dodgers. 3 outs to go, and we'll see you right after for the Toyota postgame show, guys.
All right, thanks very much. Manny Machado will lead things off. First at bat, did not start tonight. Adam Ottavino asked to get the close. The save and a slider for strike 1.
It's been a while since he's seen Adam's slider. He's 0 for 3, but Adam's slider this year is a little bit different than what he saw in the past.
That's another strike, 0-2. Jock Peterson on deck, and then Turner.
There's the numbers on Adam. There's still pretty sparkling. 81 strikeouts and just 55 in the 3rd.
He also has 4 saves this year, and that's a great start on 3 pitches. He dispatches of Manny Machado. 1 out in the 9th.
Good afternoon and good night to Manny Machado. There's Tardy on this pitch. Catch up to it on the Subaru Supermo. Peterson does have some success against Otto, 3 for 5 lifetime.
Peterson tonight is 0 for 4. Missed on the back door. It's 1-0. For Colorado, 9th inning. And this will be the 2nd out. It'll come down to an encounter between Adam Ottavino and Justin Turner. Turner, 1 hit, 7 at bats against Ottavino.
Get on your feet. Corey was right a moment ago. You didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? A chance to extend some leads, but now you're just 1 out away from the W.
Tough man in Turner. And that pitch called a ball. It's a darn good pitch. 1-0. Base hit. Dahl cuts it off. Turner, wide turn. He stops at first.
He's that one guy in their lineup.
He's a tremendous hitter.
He is.
He is a tremendous hitter. And Yasmani Grandal, from his more favored side of the plate, the left side. He has 20 home runs. 19 have come from this side of the plate.
5 for 10 lifetime against Adam.
Well, you always say, as Corey mentioned, nothing easy in the 9th inning against a high-quality opponent. But, you know, the Rockies are in one of those places where really nothing has come easy. Two outs, tying run at first. Fastball misses. 1-0. Five runs, 10 hits for the Rockies, 4 runs, 10 hits for LA. That's a pretty good looking pitch. James really thought about it, said, yeah, I like it too. 1-1. Rondal back in the first. Got the Dodgers on the board quickly after a Turner double. He threw out a single. 1 for 4 tonight. Rockies have 3 on the right side. LeMahieu's in short right field. And now he's ahead 1-2. John Gray tonight went 5 2/3, left down a run. 4-3. 4 runs, 8 hits allowed by Gray. Maeda went 5 1/3, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits.
One more pitch. Shake hands.
Here we go, 1-2. Ground ball to second. LeMahieu's got to go to first, and it's ball game over as Ottavino covered, and the Rockies survive 5-4. What a big win, what a bounce back win that is for Colorado, especially on a night when they went 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. And one of the unlikely stars, Ryan McMahon, who began the night on the bench, had to fill in for the great Nolan Arenado and hits a go-ahead 2-run home run, and the pen, the much maligned pen, makes it stand up. To center field we go. Here's Jenny and Corey. A lot to do there. Jenny, all yours.
All right, Drew, should be fun out here in center field. Bounce back night for the Rockies. They even up this series at 1 apiece. 2 remaining, lots at stake. You're breathing.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Great job by John Gray. This was a real first test for him in division. He showed up big, kept the Rockies in the ballgame. Ryan McMahon's the hero.
Great job by the bullpen, too. It takes everyone. We will have an update on Nolan Arenado exiting this game as well when we return on the Toyota Postgame Show.